Alright, I have my coffee, I have my notes, and I think we're ready to go. My name is Kailee Ransom, and I'm a senior at BG, which is crazy to say. And I wanted to give some advice to our incoming freshmen. So this is what I wish I knew my freshman year. And we have a lot of things to go through, so let's get started. I feel like a big sister giving advice. I'm gonna break this video up into 4 sections. So the first one is like your first week of college or like moving in and everything like that. The biggest thing is that your first week on campus is going to be so overwhelming. I was like running around, going to so many different events, meeting so many people. I didn't know what was happening. BG puts on a lot of different fun activities for students, which I love. They're called Weeks of Welcome, or WOW. For all of these events, don't be afraid to go to those alone, which sounds really scary, but if you're going to an event with a group of people, you're only really going to be talking to that group of people. But if you go alone, then you have so many people that you can talk to. You're not like restricted to the one group. Just always be open to talking to new people, which was so scary. When I came to BG, I was super shy. So I really could have used this advice. And also, there is a ton of walking your first week on campus, maybe even longer than a week. My feet hurt so bad, so make sure that you pack really comfortable shoes. I remember looking on like the health app on my phone, and I was averaging like 4 miles a day for the first couple of days. Make sure that you have your comfortable walking shoes and are staying hydrated. And that first week on campus, and honestly like the first month of school, make sure you're keeping your door open in your dorm so that you can meet new people and hang out in the lounges, just like be in like more of the common areas. I personally would recommend waiting to buy your books until after the first day of class. You can ask your professor if you do for sure need the books, if you need like your own copy, if you can rent them, like a physical copy, or if you can do online. I always waited just to make sure that I actually needed them before I spent the money. And then my last piece of advice, prioritize yourself. Make sure you are eating, drinking, sleeping, just take care of yourself. That's basically everything for your first weeks on campus. On to my next section, which is academics or resources. Once your classes do start, make a point to introduce yourself to your professors, which sounds super intimidating. I did not do this my freshman year, and I really regret it. My sophomore and junior years, I would go up after the first class and introduce myself to the professor, tell them my major, minor, and like just what I was looking forward to in their class. I was super shy my freshman year, like I mentioned, so I did not do that, but I have been doing it since the beginning of sophomore year, and it has really, really paid off. Building those strong relationships with your professors can open tons of doors for you. Having those relationships can help you out a lot in the future, like internships, getting into different programs, or even having them write you a letter of recommendation. So don't be afraid to go to their office hours, specifically ask for help. My professors have been able to give me a ton of really great and valuable advice. College classes can be really challenging, but again, your professors are truly there to help you, and BGSU has a ton of really great resources that can help you as well. A few of those resources that I had written down specifically were the Learning Commons, which is like tutoring services. I also used to go to supplemental instruction lessons for some of my bigger, more like generally challenging classes, and it would be only a handful of students, and they would have more fun and engaging activities on how to learn like course concepts. Shout out to Michaela. She was my SI instructor for my 2 business math classes my freshman year. She was so helpful. Specifically for like business, math, and stats classes, there's a math and stats lab, and that's again like tutoring services. And then there's a writing center that you can send in your essays to get checked over. And lastly, life design is another really huge resource that can help put you on the right path at BGSU and in general. Next section is setting yourself up for success, like professional success. The first piece of advice that I have is to find a schedule that works for you. If you don't like waking up early, if you're not a morning person, don't schedule morning classes. I took my first 8 a.m. this past semester, and it wasn't as bad as I was expecting, but not my favorite. Next, I would recommend that you start your LinkedIn account and Handshake accounts your freshman year if you don't already have those. So they're basically like social networking sites, but professional. You can link your resume on there, talk about all of your experiences, what organizations you're a part of, volunteer work, projects, anything you wish to share. And that's a great way to get connected with potential employers. You can connect with your professors on there, your peers, and just build your network out. Also, if you are looking to make money right off the bat, I would definitely recommend signing up for Handshake. The BGSU jobs and internships are on there. I applied for both of my on-campus jobs through that app. You will be assigned a team of advisors, your academic advisor, specific to the college that you're in. You can go to them for advice on what classes to take and professional advice too. I've talked to my advisor extensively about where I should look to move after college, what different companies I'd be interested in, and he's opened my eyes to a bunch of other industries that weren't even on my radar before. Another really great office on campus for professional help is the Career Center. A lot of people don't know that the career services offer a ton of different meeting options. You can get your headshots taken, also meet with them for LinkedIn help, resume building, mock interviews. I actually met with a career coach to go over my social media presence. Also, the career fair, but that's when a bunch of employers come in. You can talk to them, give them your resume. I would definitely recommend going to those events. Even if you are a freshman, even if you're not looking for a job at that time, it's nice just to scope out what employers are there. If you go when you're not actively looking for a job, there's less pressure. And if you're looking for what different events are coming up on campus, I will put a list of different accounts that you should follow to make sure you're up to date on all of those. The last topic that I wanted to talk about, I'd say most important, is finding your place in college. Scary. It can be so tough to feel like you fit in anywhere, but especially at college, and especially if you're an out-of-state student like me, or if you just don't know anyone on campus. I remember I had the worst imposter syndrome of my life the first week that I came to BGSU. I immediately wanted to go home. I was so scared, so shy. I wanted my parents. I wanted to be in my own bed. You're gonna push through because I pushed through. Make sure you're giving yourself a lot of grace. Don't beat yourself up for however you're feeling. And not knowing what you want to do with your degree or with your college experience in general is completely normal. You shouldn't be stressing over that because you have so much time to accomplish everything you want to do. A thing that I really struggled with was people's perception of me. I soon realized that people in college don't care as much as you think they do. Just keep doing you and things will be okay. I think what was hardest for me coming to college was coming to terms with the fact that finding a group of people that you truly connect with will take some time. It might not, but for a lot of people it does. It takes time to build those relationships. I personally didn't find my friend group until this past year, my junior year, and I did start creating this friend group once I started being my authentic self. If you show who you really are, you're gonna attract the people that are meant to be in your life. Don't be afraid to branch out and try new things in college. join new organizations that you may never have expected yourself joining. You can meet a ton of really cool people doing that. So make sure you go to Campus Fest. It's like a showcase of all the organizations that are available to join on campus. If you are living on campus, choosing your roommate is important, but you don't have to be best friends with them. You can just coexist as long as you guys respect each other and the space that you're living in. That's all it has to be. But you can end up being best friends with your roommate, and that's great too. And please call your family. They miss you. It's not weird. And as a senior, I want to leave you with one more piece of advice that has changed my life, and that is, it's only embarrassing if you're embarrassed. Everyone has embarrassing moments, and you can choose to view them as that, or you can just say, oops, I made a mistake, moving on, not gonna dwell on it, it's not worth my time to. That's something that I really struggled with in high school, but in college, once you have that mindset, you feel so much more free. You're not here to be perfect. You're here to try new things, meet new people, and just live life. I feel like life is a lot more fun once you let go of trying to be perfect and not making mistakes. Because who cares? Who cares? I think one of the best things about college is that you can completely reinvent yourself. So if you are an incoming student at BGSU or another college, I hope you have an amazing first year. You don't have to take all of this advice, but I hope that you left with one thing that will be helpful for the next year.